afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. PF dispels claims that it depleted the treasury and accumulated hidden debts. Women's movement welcomes the first female speaker who has a bone to chew with retirees. Join with the Midday News in detail after this commercial.
Would you like to win some cool cash? Say no more. Stand a chance to win your share of 1 million kwacha. Simply make a transaction from your Zamtel mobile money account and you could be one of weekly winners of up to 10,000 kwacha. Be empowered with Zamtel mobile money. Dial *344# to activate your account. This promotion runs from 28th July to 31st October 2021. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
And other media news in detail. Former Finance Minister under the Patriotic Front government, Dr. Ngandu, has dispelled claims by Zambian's Republican President Hakainde Hichilema that the PF administration left hidden debt while it was in power. Addressing a media briefing in Lusaka Friday, Dr. Ngandu has further challenged those claiming that the PF government had hidden debt to explain how much is involved. The former minister says the PF regime did not leave empty coffers to run government operations. Meanwhile, PF Vice President Given Lubinda says that Zambia collects a lot of tax through various means to be declared bankrupt.
During an interview with the BBC, President Hakainde Hichilema described as horrifying the extent of corruption and theft of public funds that took place under the Patriotic Front administration. President Hichilema claimed that they inherited what he described as an empty treasury and that people were still trying to make last-minute movement of funds which are unauthorized. But this statement could not go without a response from the former ruling party. Friday, 3rd August 2021, former finance minister under the PF government, Dr. Ngandu, faced the cameras to dispel the claims. Dr. Ngandu says the PF did not leave any hidden debt.
There is no benefit if you are trying to restructure your debt. There is no benefit in hiding that debt. It makes no sense because, as I said, if you hide the debt, you declare a lower amount, your restructuring will be based on that lower amount. That lower amount, restructuring that lower amount will not restore your debt sustainability. So the answer to your question again and again is that as far as I'm concerned, there is no hidden debt. We did not, when we were in the ministry, attempt in any way to hide any debt. And I would very much like to see what this hidden debt is. I mean, they're talking about it. Nobody has come up with the number. At the end of the day, they will have to explain who the creditors are, how much was owed to these people that we have hidden. We are all waiting.
The former Bank of Zambia deputy governor stated that the treasury was equally not empty as alleged by President Hichilema.
So, I don't understand what they're saying there. And also, if you remember, I mentioned that when the coffers are empty, you will see the signs of those coffers being empty. Government operations will come to a standstill. I think I explained that, and Honorable Winda also indicated that. I think the statement is about politics. It's not about facts or reality. It's about politics. And we would like them to clearly indicate what they mean by empty coffers. Because I said earlier on that I'm not sure I understand what it means by empty coffers. Let them explain that. And let them explain how they are managing to keep the government machinery operating as it is operating right now.
Meanwhile, Patriotic Front Vice President Given Lubinda says provided the UPND administration inherited empty coffers, Parliament would still not be opening next week because there would be no money to pay parliamentarians. He says eyes are on the UPND and their campaign promises.
Had he inherited empty coffers, would he have said that he's opening Parliament on the 10th? Where is he going to get the money to pay all those parliamentarians? He's going to pay those parliamentarians because there is money that he's going to use. Zambia Revenue Authority overperformed. They collected much more than the budget for 2021 provided. How can they possibly say the coffers are empty? And yet, on the other hand, the tax collector is saying, we have collected more than we anticipated. The truth of the matter is that they have even more money than they should have had. Let them use that money to make sure that they deliver on their promises. And number one promise is free education for our children. Yes, the Zambian head, and that's why they voted for them. The Zambians are tired of paying school fees. So starting now, no school fees because ZRA has collected more than they were supposed to have collected. There is extra money available to their disposal. They must not hedge at all.
Beyond the contention, it is not a secret that economic recovery is what the country needs to focus on to get things right. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
In other news, the Zitukule Consortium has called for the full implementation of CAP 16 of the laws of Zambia. The law, which stipulates that all members of Parliament, Cabinet, Speaker of the National Assembly should make annual declaration of their interests, assets, liabilities and income 30 days after their first date of appointment and 30 days after every anniversary year for accountability purposes. Speaking to Camnet News, the Consortium Executive Director Nicholas Piri says the law compliance levels among officials in the last 10 years leaves limited room for public resource management accountability. Mr. Piri adds that the full implementation of this law will put the country in a better position to fight corruption.
We are alarmed by some politicians who seem to have amassed sudden wealth which they did not have before assuming government positions. Some are also on record allegedly boasting that 2 million kwacha is of little value to them due to the wealth they have. Others also acquired costly helicopters valued at millions of kwacha, which further increased suspicions from citizens and stakeholders. Reports from the Financial Intelligence Center (FIC) and the Auditor General's report have been revealing alleged corruption activities amounting to millions of kwacha. The Zitukule Consortium says there should be full implementation of CAP 16 of the laws of Zambia, which stipulates that members of Parliament, Cabinet and Speaker of the National Assembly should declare their interests, assets, liabilities and income 30 days after their first date of appointment and annually after that for public accountability. Research conducted by the Alliance for Community Action, another civil society organization, for the period 2016 to 2019 shows that only 2 out of 29 cabinet ministers were compliant with the law in declaring their assets. Speaking to Camnet News, Zitukule Consortium Executive Director Mr. Nicholas Piri says there needs to be full implementation this time around in order to actualize the fight against corruption.
As the government is settling down and seriously engaging in curbing corruption, this particular piece of law, the Ministerial and Parliamentary Code of Conduct, must be fully implemented.
Mr. Piri states that no official should be afraid of declaring the assets if they have good intentions.
But in addition, we would like to propose that not only should the declaration of assets be limited to the ministers and parliamentary officers, but should also be cascaded even to other office bearers in the civil service, including the permanent secretaries and other key public officials.
The country is currently going through swearing in of various officials as they position themselves for service under the new government. Zipporah Mushala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
A humanitarian organization has underscored the need for the country to develop policies aimed at enhancing access to education, shelter and proper living conditions for vulnerable children in the country. Mothers Without Borders Country Director Josephine Daka says despite several challenges, her company has remained resolute to safeguarding the plight of orphaned children by meeting their basic needs through the help of stakeholders. Ms. Daka made the remarks when she received a donation of blankets and other assorted items from Marco Polo Towels through the company's corporate social responsibility program.
Just like many other countries, in Zambia, there are many children who have been deprived of their childhood. According to Save the Children, at least 7 million children worldwide have their childhood stolen. The major reasons included poor health, conflict, extreme violence, child marriage, early pregnancy, malnutrition, exclusion from education, and child labor. Mothers Without Borders, located in Lusaka West, offers children found living in child-headed households, sexually or physically abused, abandoned, or lost an opportunity to be in a family setting with adults who will mentor and encourage them. Friday, 3rd August 2021, children were graced by a donation from Marco Polo Towels. According to the company's human resource manager, Clara Monga, she says the move is aimed at giving back to the community in which it operates from.
Well, when you look at our society, I think most people that need help are the vulnerable ones. So that is why we were prompted to come and make this donation to the vulnerable ones. Quite all right, we can make donations elsewhere, but when we just assess who needs help in the community, these ones here need it more than anyone else.
The children are happy that the firm came on board to help alleviate their challenges.
We are so excited that we have aunties and uncles around us who love and care about us so much. Indeed, you have put a lot of smiles on our faces just to see you here. We are so grateful for the big donation you have brought us. This will take us a long way. Thank you very much.
Mothers Without Borders country director Josephine Daka has hailed Marco Polo Towels for supplementing their needs.
Gesture by Marco Polo is very, very humbling. Occasionally we've had people from the corporate world come through, but not so many because we are so far out of town. A lot of people don't know us, they don't find us. So it's an encouragement for the corporate world because these children are not ours. We're out there just offering a service, and the more people come on board, the better services that we can offer to these children. So we appreciate this gesture from Marco Polo. It's the second time that they've come, and every time they've come, they've put a lot of smiles on our faces, and mostly they show the children the love that they have for them. It's an encouragement for them, so they know that there are people out there that care for them as well.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
That brings us to the end of the news. Getting into the headlines once again, PF dispels claims that it depleted the treasury and accumulated hidden debts. Women's Movement welcomes the first female speaker who has a bone to chew with retirees. My name is Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Good afternoon.